I met brother Howard and his son Jared at the car park this morning, and then we've put an hour's walk in and then we've split. And that puts me here. This block is one of my favourite blocks to hunt. Only has fallow deer. Today is the 1st of March, so does are back on the hit list, and I'm beelining it for a tree, an area that I want to hunt, just a real good high traffic point. Everything's on the hit list today, but I just want to hunt there for a few hours in that tree, and then I want to go up the hill to a spot that I was at last year in this block, and it was beaten to hell by a real big buck, and there's a tree there that I want to climb just so that it is climbed and has the check of approval, the tick of approval I should say, for the raw. I'm going to come back in here in the end of April and give it another crack, but yeah, today everything's on the hit list. Just want some meat and my first deer for 2024. Well, as far as tree spots go, this has to be one of the best. The view here is ridiculously good, and I got 25 meter shots, literally all around me, 360 degrees. Got no wind, well, very, very light winds forecast all the way through till about 1 o'clock today, so I could end up just sitting there until the wind picks up, and then I'll go for a ground mission. It is deathly quiet. And those are my favourite conditions to be tree hunting. I've got my antlers, rattling antlers with me today for the first time in 2024. So I'm going to give that a rattle pretty soon and hope that a big buck comes in. But like I said at the start, anything is going to get shot at. Although I did just see a couple of fawns and I might have been able to wangle a shot at one of them, but yeah, I didn't. But that was only like 150 meters from the tree that I'm in now, so anyway, excited. I just spooked 2 deer standing right there, and that just on the other side of that punga was the big scrape that was here last year. And my plan was to come here and just climb a tree, so I climbed one and I just crashed in, and I shouldn't have, because again there was a couple of deer standing right there. But I'm going to climb a tree just so I've done it and so I know, and yeah, I might hang around for a while, cool down a bit. It's a hot one. Oh, I got one. Wow. All I really wanted to do today was climb a couple of trees, ready for the roar. But I just let out a rattle on the antlers, and then straight away, crunch, 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 crunch. And that deer was standing directly downwind of me. Anyway, it ended up right down here at like, I don't know, 8 meters maybe. So Nato's got a really heavy pack, and I'm like 2.5 to 3 hours from my truck. So yeah, couldn't be happier really. This tree is now fully rigged and proven to be awesome. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get down out of this tree and I'll walk over there. The deer's on the ground just over there. I can't see it, but I did see it rolling and tumbling around when I shot it. So yeah, stoked as. I got a deer out of a tree in this block, and I haven't shot a deer out of a tree in this block since 2019, I think. Shot a few on the ground, but not out of a tree, so stoked. Guessing that means it went through a shoulder blade. Broke my knock off. I seen him run straight into this tree. So much for it being a him, Nato. When I first seen it, I thought, oh, it's a doe coming into the rattle. But then I seen that little tuft of hair there, and I thought it was a pizzle. And to be honest, I was obviously just too jacked up. Thought I shanked a spiker, and I've got a big, beautiful doe. That is even better. Shot was just as you want it. What's that like? I mean, it's high, but obviously a steep downhill shot, and broke her front leg and exited. I might have broke her clod bone, so right on the edge of the bowl triangle. The bowl triangle runs right down the edge of the clod bone, and I broke the clod bone. One of the best things about shooting a deer from a tree is having all the extra ropes and crap to hang it up. Makes butchering a whole lot easier. Meat's just going to cool off for a bit. My arrow went through the shoulder blade long ways on one side and then broke the clod bone on the other side, so I pretty much lost. Well, no, I did. I lost the front shoulders, which I'm a bit gutted about because I love venison nachos and mince and stuff, but on the other hand, it is 3 hours back to the truck. So back legs, back steaks, eye fillets, and I got a little bit of trim around the neck and stuff, and liver and heart, of course. Can't leave the best bits behind. Now that's what you call a fresh one. soft and sticky. Oh, wicked cool. Here we go again. Day number 2. Half an hour deep in the bush. Headed pretty high today to a scrape where, how to explain it, the only buck I seen in this block last year was on that one scrape that I'm heading to today. It wasn't a big one, but it was the best of what I seen last year, so that's where I'm headed, climbing a tree. This was the tree that I was in, and I was up there, but after being up there, I reckon I want to be in this tree. That tree is a little bit kind of open to this area, even though deer won't look up. As long as you don't move, they won't look up. But that tree, there's a bit of cover behind it. It's a bigger tree. I can position myself on the back side of it because I can see for like 40 and 50 meters down here, and if a deer comes up there and picks me out, then I'm done. So anyway, tree is climbed. Mean scrape just here. I've seen a huge buck on this scrape a few years back, and the only buck I seen last year in the raw was standing on that scrape, so it's definitely worth a visit in the raw. But right now, moving on. First sign of antler rubbings for the year. Couple of little trees here, belt 2 and that one, and there's a fern down there that's been flattened. Here comes the raw, boys. Here comes the raw. Freshest sign I've seen today, but it's still a day or more old. Probably a couple of days. I just got to hunting height at the spot I wanted to be at. I'm on a little ridge. There's a basin either side of me, and the basins either side of me have scrapes in them during the raw. So my plan was to come to this tree, which is in a little ridge in the middle of them, and rattle in the raw and hope to draw animals up out of these little scrape areas. Anyway, I'm not even in my tree set up, and a buck has heard me come down this ridge and climb this tree, I'm guessing, because I just seen a buck, and well, first of all, I could just see a little bit of antler down here. Zoomed my phone in and caught a little bit of movement, and then he walked through a gap over there, and I got a good look at him, and I was like, one of his antlers are real crap. I won't shoot that, it's all good. And then he walked over a little bit further into another gap, and then I got a better look at him, and I was like, oh no, hang on a minute. He's not that bad. I'll definitely shoot him. Be better than any buck that I've shot in this block. And the instant that I think, yeah, I'm going to shoot him, he got my wind and has gapped it. And I've been sitting there for a couple of minutes just like going, oh, what? And the wind is all over the place. So I'm not even going to pull my bow and my bag up. I'm going to get back down. I've climbed the tree. I've done what I kind of wanted to do. And with a steady wind, this plan could work. So anyway, I got another tree I want to climb way back up the hill on the way back. Good morning time. It is 5:30 a.m. Today is the 21st of April, and I am slowly, methodically plodding my way through the bush at the moment. It rained all day yesterday and it rained into last night, and right now the bush is just dripping wet, and everything that I touch is getting me wet. So to get to here has been a very slow, methodical walk, and I'm way behind schedule, just trying to get through the bush at the moment without getting drowned. But today being the 21st of April, I'm hoping that the rut is just tapering off and bucks are moving, checking scrapes and hoping to bump into one. The plan for this block every year is to tree hunt because it's really open in areas where the scrapes are, and you get a massive view from in a tree. So yeah, the plan was to climb trees, rattle antlers, and bring Derek the decoy up here and try and decoy and rattle in a big buck. But tree hunting in these conditions, wet, it's pretty much raining in the bush right now. But yeah, I don't want to be climbing trees that are wet. And anyway, I got tomorrow to do that. Today's going to be fine and windy, clean, dry the bush out, and I'll have a go at tree hunting tomorrow. Today's mission is just to try and find some buck sign that is worth going back to tomorrow, which is going to be a little bit hard because all the sign's going to look old after a full day of rain yesterday. But if I find a scrape that a buck's worked over since the rain, that would be perfect. So yeah, continuing on, slowly plodding my way through the bush, trying to stay dry. Let the games begin. That's a big one. Big one. I nearly wasn't going to shoot him, but that is by far the biggest buck that I've ever shot in this block. So, I'm just... When I first seen it, I thought it was a jumbo. Pretty sure I smoked him, considering I shot him at like 3 meters. I punched the shot though, which I'm not too happy about. I'm just going to need to calm down for a bit. I've calmed down a bit now. That was a close one. I probably should have let him go. When I first seen him, I was like, shit, it's a monster. But if you took the picture out of my head when I first seen him, you'd think he was a monster too. But as he got closer, I was like, oh, do I want to shoot it? Do I want to shoot it? I don't have a camera on my head, and you know. But like I said, that is the biggest buck that I've taken out of this block. So beggars can't be choosers. I'll take it. Salami's on. When you see bubbles like that, you know they didn't go far, even though I seen them crash. I got a buck croaking down here, so I'm gonna hang this fella up. Yeah, he's singing. I'm gonna hang this fella up and see if I can't find a mature one. Like I say, that is the biggest buck I've shot near. It is all good. And salami, I just got salami from Graham the Butcher, which is gonna cost me 8 hours of boning beef to pay for it, but man, it is good. Bring on some more. Gone quiet again. Not long after I started moving in the direction of that croaking buck, he was croaking no more. I probably should have just left that young buck on the ground instead of burning time by gutting him and hanging him up. And yeah, anyway, it is what it is. I'm about to get off my ass, go and get this young buck, stick him in my pack and get myself home, and then I've got another day in this block tomorrow, and I will be up early and straight back into it, and I'm coming back into this area. Given that that young buck was here and there were croaks somewhere this way, I reckon I got a good chance at a big buck tomorrow. So see you at like 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's two. One out here. One right there. One's perfect. I haven't even got to where I wanted to get to. No sooner did I start to close the gap between me and those croaks, and the wind did what the wind does, and the croaking stopped. So I'm guessing they got my wind. I have heard some croaks since then, distant, so I'm hoping it's those animals that just moved away and started croaking. But I'm going to go back to the original plan. They're headed in the general direction that I was going in. I just want to get back to where I heard those croaks yesterday when I put that young buck on the deck, and then just slowly make my way that way and hope that a buck fires up. The wind will be perfect there. Well, the forecast says the wind will be in my favour there. The wind does what the wind does, but yeah, anyway, that is the plan. Head that way and shank a bigger buck than I shanked yesterday. All been pretty quiet so far. Been sitting here for a good couple of hours now. There's a good couple of trails underneath me and blah blah, but those croaks were coming from this direction somewhere. And looking at my GPS, he could be anywhere. So I've just sat here and hoped that I'd get a couple of croaks and I can beeline it in that direction and get him located. But yeah, nothing today. And I don't really just want to sit here for the rest of the day in the hopes that this animal croaks. And he never does. So instead, I've got a couple of spots on the way back that I can hunt. So I'm going to start heading back. Fresh as scrape. And my GPS says that I was 137 meters that way this morning when I heard croaking. So it was happening right here. 130 meters away. Sounded a lot closer than that.